So I don't know if anybody is a returning viewer from last month, but if you are, welcome again. And if you're brand new this month, then thanks so much for joining us. My name is Marissa. I'm a registered dietitian. I have a private practice in Rolling Hills, Palos Verdes area. I see clients of all ages, from little ones all through adulthood. And I primarily have a focus on disordered eating or eating disorders, patients with diabetes or pre-diabetes, or those who have general wellness concerns. And the other part of my practice is I contract with different companies who are seeking nutrition related services from a dietitian. So that's a little bit about myself. Okay, so as you guys know, it's National Peach Month. Does anybody know in what year it was declared National Peach Month? Any guesses?
Was it a long time ago?
I don't think it was a long time ago.
1999?
Earlier than that, longer.
1963.
So it was actually established in 1982 by President Ronald Reagan. He declared August to be National Peach Month, according to daysoftheweek.com. So that's according to the internet. We all know that there could be different truths to that, but I thought that was pretty interesting. And some websites say that July is Peach Month. Some say that August is Peach Month. So we're going with August being Peach Month. So I thought that was pretty cool. And so, yeah, in 1982, he kind of just encouraged, you know, people in the US to do activities that promote peaches and to eat more peaches and fruit overall in their diet. So here we are celebrating National Peach Month in August. So today we're going to be making 3 dishes highlighting our star ingredient, a peach. We're going to be making a Southwestern Modified Blue Zones recipe, Southwestern quinoa salad that includes peaches. The original recipe called for mangoes, but we're going to do peaches, which is going to add a little bit of sweetness to the recipe. Then we're going to make black bean and peach tacos. And for the dessert, we're going to do grilled peaches with pomegranate seeds on top. So I'm super excited to get started. Note about picking out peaches. So you can see that I have 2 different ones right here. I have this big guy, which isn't exactly quite ripe yet. And the way that you can tell is if you press down on it, if it's really firm on the outside, and if it doesn't have a sweet odor, then it's not quite ripe yet. The other ones that I have, they're a little bit smaller in size. It doesn't have anything to do with how ripe they are. But when I press down, it's a little bit soft, not too soft. And then it has a sweet odor about it. So that's just one tip to know if your peaches are ripe or not. And they're actually from 2 different grocery stores. So I just think it's interesting, the difference in size there too. So we're gonna get started with the Southwestern quinoa salad. And the ingredients that we're going to be using, we're going to be using some cooked cold quinoa. Get my bowl. We're going to be using black beans, chilled as well. We're going to be using some yellow corn. So I'm going to mix those 3 ingredients into a large bowl. And quinoa is great. It's pretty versatile, so you can cook it the night before and chill it so that in the morning your quinoa is ready to go. It tastes great in salads, mixed with beans, or on its own as a side dish. We're gonna take what's supposed to be allspice. I didn't have any allspice. I thought I did. So what I did instead was I mixed some cinnamon and some nutmeg together. So we're gonna throw that in there. We have some green onions, just the green part, not the stem. We have some diced cilantro. And you can see how the contrasting, oh, I don't know if you could see that. The contrasting colors look kind of nice in there. I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold it up differently in a minute. We have some chopped red bell pepper, which are very rich in vitamin C and antioxidants. So great for disease prevention. We have some avocado. If you're making this recipe ahead of time, it's going to be important not to put the avocado or the lime in because the avocado will brown. So you want to, if you want to mix everything together, like say ahead of time, you just want to leave the avocado and the lime for the end to avoid the avocado getting brown. So I'm just squeezing some fresh lime juice, about 1 lime. The amount of lime is kind of going to be dependent on, you know, your desire for that citrusy flavor. And then I'm adding salsa. I'm adding a medium red salsa. If you want to use green salsa, that's completely fine too. I'm going to add actually a little bit of pure maple syrup. You can also use agave, but I'm doing pure maple, just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to give this a nice mix before we add our star ingredient. I want you to see, can you guys see that color right there? Can you guys see that?
Yes. Yeah, that looks beautiful.
So next we're going to take our peach. And if you have a ripe peach, it will definitely slice pretty easy. So I'm just going to cut it like that and just like twist it. And if it's ripe, then it'll break apart pretty easily where you don't have to tug and pull it. If you have to do a lot of tugging and pulling, that just means that it's not quite ripe yet. And that's okay. You can still use it. It'll just be a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to remove the pit. And again, if it's nice and ripe, it'll come out pretty easy. So I'm going to leave the skin on because the skin is full of nutrition, fiber, and more antioxidants. And I'm just going to slice this up. I'm going to dice it up. Oh, that's slippery. And Peaches, anybody know Peaches' cousin? Has a family member.
Nectarine?
Nectarine.
Yeah, who said that?
Laura.
Yep. It's true, just one gene difference. So obviously you guys know nectarines don't have the fuzzy skin. They're rich in nutrition as well, just a little bit different. So we're going to chop those guys and then we're going to add that beautiful color into the bowl. And we're going to gently mix. And what's great about peaches is that they're pretty versatile as well. You can obviously have them cold. You can grill them like we're going to do today. You can saute them. You can eat them, you know, frozen in a smoothie. And you're still going to be getting the same amount of nutrition no matter which way that you cook it. So before I show, I'm going to add a little bit of sea salt. One last stir. And then I'm going to try to do my best to show you without dropping it. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I love the eye appeal that the bright color from the corn and the peaches and the avocado and the bell pepper add. I think that's so pretty. So it makes eating it extra fun. So I am going to set this aside and we're going to move on to our tacos. So the ingredients for those, again, we substituted, I believe it was mango that were in the original Blue Zones recipe for peaches. So either way, we're going to be getting similar nutrition and the same great flavors. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our black beans. Again, this is the taco mix that we're doing. We're going to be adding more red bell pepper and purple onion, some cilantro, some fresh avocado. And one thing I want to say about avocado is that it's a rich source of mono and saturated fat. And the benefits of having enough fat in our diet is so that we can have enough fat to absorb those wonderful fat soluble vitamins. Does anybody know what the fat soluble vitamins are? I'm going to do some salt. So fat soluble vitamins are A. Oh, somebody say A?
No, D? No.
Oh, I thought I heard you say A. So the fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K. You can remember it as ADEC. So if our diets don't have enough fat, then we're not going to be able to absorb those wonderful vitamins as well. So a lot of people have a misconception about fat in the diet. Some people think fat can make you fat, but that's not actually true. Okay. So along with these ingredients, and again, look at that great color in this mixture as well. We're going to be adding 2 diced peaches. Any questions so far? So again, look at how easy that opened. That's just a sign that these, again, are really, really ripe. We don't want that pit in there. Does anybody know what the name of this pit is, other than just a pit?
No.
No? Actually, I should ask, does anybody know, so that pit gives peaches the name of being a stone fruit, because the pit is so big, it kind of looks like a stone. So peaches are often referred to as a stone fruit.
I have a question. Are there different types of peaches that are better for like baking versus, fruit, kind of like, apples? There's different kinds of apples for different purposes.
Yeah, that's a good question. So not really that I'm aware of. There may be, but from my understanding, as long as you get like as long as your peaches are ripe, they should work for whatever your needs are. Has anybody heard anything differently? I'm just chopping these up.
No.
No? But yeah, you're right. Apples have so many different varieties. So with apples, you want to be more specific and picky depending on what it is that you're using the apples for. So you can chop or dice these. It's kind of just, dependent on the recipe that you're doing. Diced is smaller than chopped, technically, but sometimes we use those terms interchangeably. So again, it kind of just depends on personal preference. Peaches are a great source of fiber, vitamin A, so that fat soluble vitamin we were talking about. Being that this recipe and the other recipe has avocado, that's kind of a good combination to ensure that our bodies are absorbing all of that great vitamin A in the peaches by having avocado in with the mixture. Okay, so here we have our peaches that are chopped up, and we're just gonna add it into the taco mixture. Has anybody had the combination of black beans and peaches? kind of different, huh?
Marissa, did you drain your black beans?
I did. Great question. Yeah, I didn't answer. I should have mentioned that. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I drained and I rinsed the black beans as well as the corn. You can use frozen corn, you can use fresh corn, you can use canned corn. But either way, you do want to drain both because the extra liquid isn't something that we want. And so here's the finished product for the taco mix. Can you guys see that? Oops. So you can see how all the different colors kind of blend together and complement each other pretty nicely.
Looks
I was
delicious.
just thinking you could even add like a jalapeno to it.
Yes, that's a great idea. You could do you could even add salsa in this too. You could add like a serrano chili. You could be as creative as you want with you know, different ingredients depending on what you like. So let's make sure that we added everything. Okay, so after this mixture is complete, we are going to add a little bit more lime. And you can also add it when you fill your tortillas after if you want. And like I said, I like extra lime, so I'm gonna do my second half. And then a little more salt, a little salt. I'm gonna mix that up again. We're gonna warm our tortillas. Any questions about this item? And remember that the black beans in this dish and also in the fiesta salad have a lot of fiber, which is important for cardiovascular health. It keeps cholesterol and blood pressure under control, as well as our gut health too. If we don't have enough fiber in our diet, then we don't have enough prebiotics, which feed the probiotics, which keeps our digestion going smoothly. So quinoa is a rich source of fiber as well. So are avocados actually, and corn. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside and we're gonna turn our grill on. And while that's warming up, I'm gonna rinse my hands really quick. And we're just gonna warm a couple of corn tortillas on this grill. Can you guys see the grill in the camera? Just move it a little bit.
Yeah, we can.
All right, so we're gonna warm these tortillas for a couple minutes. Does anybody not like corn tortillas? I know some people prefer flour over corn.
I would like flour.
What about wheat tortillas? I
Yeah,
mean,
like
compared to
Mhm.
their nutritional value is, which is better, like wheat or the corn?
Yeah, that's a good question. It sort of depends what you're going for in terms of, you know, nutrition. If you want more of a fiber punch, then you're going to go for the whole wheat tortilla. If you're, you know, diabetic and you need to watch the carb intake or be aware of how many carbs you're having, oftentimes, you know, you can get away with having corn tortillas or more of them, I should say, without it affecting blood sugar. So it kind of just depends what your nutrition goals are. I always say we should go for taste when we can, because, you know, if you're just eating something for the nutrition value, but it doesn't really taste that great, then it kind of takes away from the joy of eating. So I'm just gonna pop these on this plate, set them aside with the mixture.
Marissa, I do have a question. You know, we're focusing on plant-based, and I know with like the beans and the quinoa and stuff, like, are there considerations around protein in either one of those dishes that, you know, kind of take the place of not having meat?
Yeah, so actually both of those items are pretty high in protein and comparable to that amount in per ounce as like a meat product. So the black beans, which is, as you know, part of the legume family. So like beans, peas, and lentils, those all have pretty good amounts of protein. And then the quinoa is actually rich in protein as well.
So you're not really missing out.
I don't think so. No. If you're mindful to really plan your meals and snacks with getting enough quantity-wise from the plant-based options, then you can very easily meet your protein goals. I know soy is included too. So I know last time we made that smoothie with the soy milk and soy yogurt. And so soy is a great source of plant-based protein too.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, so let me go grab my final dish. Okay, so what we're going to be doing here, let me grab mixture. Is we're doing a pomegranate and grilled peach dessert. And this grill is nice and warm from the tortillas. And so what we're going to do here is we're just going to, again, slice our peach in half. And I've gotten so lucky with all of these peaches. They've been completely easy to take apart. And then we're actually going to, I'm going to put some more honey on my plate. Let me take out this pit before I forget. And what we're going to do is we're going to brush each half of the peach with honey before we put it on the grill. Has anybody grilled peaches? I take my brush and honey, and we're just going to kind of generously brush the half. This half with honey, pop it on the grill.
I've grilled fresh apricots, so I guess that's pretty similar, right?
Ooh, yeah. You could do as much honey or as little honey as you want. There's no rules. I'm gonna put the second one on there for about 3 minutes. Set my timer. So
I know
Does
apricots
anybody
are a
see?
stone fruit, but are they as closely related as nectarines and peaches are?
Can you repeat that?
Are apricots as related or closely related as nectarines and peaches are?
Maybe they're second cousins. I don't know if they're first cousins, but like peaches and nectarines, but maybe they're a little bit similar. I bet you there's some relationship there. So while we're waiting for those to get grilled, we have a yogurt mixture that we're gonna top on top of them when they're done. And the yogurt that we did here, it's a coconut-based yogurt, and the protein in here is actually pea protein. So it's coconut cream and pea protein is the base. And you can also use soy yogurt or almond milk yogurt or cow's milk yogurt if that's your preference. And we added cinnamon and vanilla and also honey into this mixture, so it kind of looks like this. Okay. So we're gonna have this to the side. These are about done. I'm gonna go actually fill the tacos with the mixture. Give me 1 minute. So other than grilling apricots, has anybody else grilled any fruit?
Pineapple
Ooh, pineapple, okay.
and also figs this week we started doing.
Oh, that's cool.
With just a little bit of balsamic on it.
Oh, that sounds great. Sounds good. I've never really been a fan of like hot fruit, you know. But when I started grilling these peaches and I tasted them and how it kind of changes the flavor profile, I changed my mind. So now I like hot fruit, especially grilled peaches. Okay, so our time's just about up. About 9 seconds left. I'm going to turn the grill off here. And let me show you what the bottom of these guys look like. All right. So do you kind of see those?
Yes, they look beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God.
lovely.
Trying to grab through the camera to.
All right, let me go put these over here. Okay. So after, after we kind of put everything to the side and then we have all of our items that we created today on our plate, what I want to make mention of is when I plated the peaches here, I also added some strawberries around the peaches, and it just kind of adds extra color and also vitamin C. And now what I'm going to do with this mixture, the yogurt mixture, is I'm just going to put it on top of the peaches. And then you might be wondering, where does the pomegranate fit in, since the name of the recipe is a pomegranate and grilled peach dessert. And I'll tell you in a second. So there's the yogurt. We have our strawberries around, and we have some mint leaves here, which also add additional color and just a little bit of a flair. And where the pomegranates fit in. So pomegranates aren't actually in season right now. So I bought the frozen pomegranate seeds. And so they contribute fiber as well, an antioxidant. So we're just going to put a little bit of the seeds on top of the yogurt. And there you have a nice, bright, colorful plate with all of the food items that we made.
That looks gorgeous.
That's amazing.
So I'll try to snap a picture of this after, if anybody wants to reference it. So there's our plate today, highlighting our peaches.